morning, awesome friends. So we're working on my little 12 by 12 folio, and I wanted to actually show you how I folded it because I've done it a little differently. So normally when we open it up, it's like this, like this, like this. But the last piece, can you see there, I've actually folded it the opposite direction. And I thought it would add a little bit of interest, make it something different. So here we go. I'm going to fold it back again. And close it. So if it's folded, this is the front and then this is the back. So we are going to be doing this one first today, this specific one. And obviously we've got to be careful now because we want it to be the right way up. So it will be there. Okie dokie. So here we go with our little page. And I'm trying to figure out which is the best way to put it down so that we can work with it. There you go. Okay. So we are working on this one today. It's a little bit out of, there you go, just move that there. So we're going to work on that one and decorate it, and I've already prepared some goodies for us to use. So as you know from the previous tutorial, this was the scraps left over with little corners, and off camera I inked and cut 2 of the little corners, and we're going to put something together which is pretty quick and simple. I'm very fortunate to have some of these little Valentine's goodies that I'm going to use, and we're going to assemble it quick. Little hearts, little flower, I'm not sure if I'll use that, another tiny little heart, and a little paisley decoration. So here we go. As you're aware, this is self-adhesive 70 micron metal tape. And this is a little chippy, and this is a piece of like acetate with a lovely sentiment printed on it. So I did play around off camera to see which works the best, and let's just check our placement. And I'm trying to keep my little folio very flat. I don't want too much bulk in it, so it's more something visual to look at. And I'm also looking at, when you glue acetate, you always see the glue marks. So I'm trying to use my double-sided tape, or my metal tape, my self-adhesive metal tape, to actually glue the acetate sentiment down, if you know what I mean. So I think that looks pretty good. So let's start. We want to place our acetate there. So I'm leaving the acetate there, making sure that it's lined up. Okay. Removing the backing. Okay. And placing my corner about 5 millimeters from the edges. I don't want it right against the edges. Okay, so there we've at least secured that it's not going to slip too much. And then this is going to go here, and yeah, I think I'm going to place the other corner as well. So here we go. There you go. And doing the same with this one. Also placing it about, whoopsie, about 5 millimeters from the edges. And as usual, I like to use my credit card just to make sure that my metal tape is nicely adhered on the edges. I'm going to use a little bit of glue. Oh, that came out a bit quick. I'll just smear it with my finger because there's a bit too much glue on here. Making sure I go right to the edges. Don't want so much glue on there. And then I think that's quite cute. I'll hold that in place for a minute. And now our little hearts. So for the hearts, I'm actually using dual glue because I find the PVA or box glue is a bit wet, and as you can see the dual glue is slightly drier. Just dabbing some on, and I must say fingers work best. And these tiny little hearts, let's see where we can put them. And do we want a flower and a heart? Do you want a flower and a heart? Don't think I do. I think I'm going to stick with the tiny little heart. And this little heart is even more tiny. Oh, so small I can barely hold it in my hand. And I honestly find it difficult to use tweezers. I see lots of crafters love their tweezers, but I actually find tweezers very difficult to use. So I'm just holding these little hearts in place for a minute or two. Okay, that looks good. And then I had these little twirls, but I think it's going to overdo it. So sweet and simple. I'm going to stick this under my craft mat just to flatten and dry it. But how sweet is that? How sweet is home? How sweet it is, home sweet it is. How sweet it is, how sweet it is. Can't even read that properly. It just says how sweet it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is. The cursive is so bad I can't read properly. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that.